Deputy Minister Paweł Bejda decided personally to receive the F-35 aircraft produced in the United States for Poland. Continuing my trip to the United States, I visited the Lockheed Martin facilities and production line where F-35 aircraft are being manufactured, including for the Polish Armed Forces. We are ready for today's presentation ceremony of the first aircraft produced for Poland. However, the purchase of 36 state-of-the-art fifth-generation American aircraft is the work of the previous authorities of the Ministry of Defense, headed then by Mariusz Błaszczak. This is a historic event. It is a breakthrough, just as it was a breakthrough to receive F-16s more than 20 years ago. Receiving F-35s is another breakthrough. I am glad that today the first F-35 will reach Polish pilots. 4 years ago, the Ministry of Defense signed a contract for the delivery of 32 F-35A aircraft for $4.6 billion at the time. It was the second largest arms contract in Polish history. Politicians from the then opposition led by Donald Tusk protested loudly, arguing that the Ministry of Defense could have spent the money allocated for the F-35 better. Just go back those 4 years and read what they were saying. They argued that the F-35s were useless to the Polish military, that we wouldn't benefit from the capabilities that these aircraft offer. This is what the then Polish ambassador to the United States, Ryszard Schnepf, today Tusk's nominee for Poland's diplomatic post in Italy, said. Looking for data on the F-35, I saw what Sputnik wrote, a magazine that is distributed here, a website that proves that the Soviet Su-55 is better and half the price. Today, however, for the current authorities of the Ministry of Defense, the issue of the previously criticized contract for American aircraft is so important that a large group from the Ministry of Defense went to the United States. There are some who even puff out their chest to receive medals. Such a prime example is Minister Tomczyk, who does not oversee armaments policy, does not know anything about armaments, is not responsible for it in the Ministry of National Defense, yet has just flown to the United States. The problem is that not much is happening with some of the other contracts signed by the United Right. The ministry is run by a person who doesn't have the slightest idea about defense issues, and the real minister, a kind of super minister, is Cezary Tomczyk, who also has a very weak understanding. Because the problem is, among other things, the contracts for 500 HIMARS missile launchers and the production of Korean K2 tanks in Poland. It is not at all clear what Tusk's team is up to when it comes to modernising the army, except that they are finishing the contracts they had to finish and trying to cancel the rest. Fortunately, Tusk's government did not succeed in cancelling everything. The delayed executive contract for the Apache attack helicopters contracted by the Law and Justice Party was recently signed, albeit reluctantly. But there are other problems with the technical modernisation of the military, such as with increasing the production of artillery ammunition. Radosław Jankiewicz, TV Republika.